Hey folks, my name is Pravus, and welcome to more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. Today we're going to try a scenario called Necromancy, where apparently we get to play as a Lich. And I'm sorry, anytime I have an opportunity to put Kel'Thuzad in the thumbnail, I'm going to do that. It's just kind of an automatic win from me. This is created by Corin. The ancient forbidden art of necromancy, the ability to control the dead, has not been a concern for humanity for nearly 700 years. Are you telling me in the 1300s there was actually necromancy? That was left out of my history book. A lich has arisen with vast knowledge of this forbidden art, but nearly a millennium doormat have weakened his magic. With DNA points, you can recall your spells and enhance your magic. This is my first scenario, basically a magic twist of the necroa. Hey, a magic necroa is perfectly fine with me. Necroa is already got the suspension of disbelief. Whether it's some sort of bizarre freak science or magic, I care not, it's fun. Metabolic jump, Darwinist suppression, herbophile, and dopamine inhibitor, and I will be playing this on Mega Brutal because I'm sorry, it's the necroa, which is one of the easiest ones. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. A lich has awoken. The world has changed beyond belief since the Dark Ages, but this time, the Lich shall not fail. Do we start in Saudi Arabia again? At some point, I feel kind of bored just doing the same thing over and over again, but what can I say? It's all reliable. At some point, you just keep going with it. All right, so we've identified this. Now, normally, with your necroa virus, you want to start focusing down some of the symptoms and rush toward getting the zombies pretty much as quickly as possible. I'm okay with taking a little bit of a deviation, though. We could go for some zoonotic shift. Does increase the research speed. At some point, that becomes kind of irrelevant once you have the zombies. Yeah, sure, they've cured you, whatever. You're still going to eat everybody, and the plague will spread that way regardless. So I'm not really too worried about it yet. That's going to lead to bats, wolves, birds, insects, rodents, and livestock. We've also got necrosis, so infectivity, if corpses are present, that's going to be fine. And then, of course, blood. There's always got to be blood. Necromancer's magic seeps into the target's blood, making it a transmission vector. Very good for the poor countries, blah, blah, blah. We do have our drug and cold resistance, but something has changed over here. Or has it? I mean, normally you don't have all the stuff available. I feel like something's been rearranged with the resistances. So I guess we'll find out what happens there. Do we go ahead and pick up insomnia? Yeah, sure, why not? And then there's delirium. Just a little bit of severity. You know, little severity means more DNA. I do like that. A little bit of extra infectivity means spread a little faster. Seems kind of good. I wish we had a little bit of heat or air transmission of some sort, but oh well. A festival of love in Saudi Arabia? I suspect that is going to be made illegal very, very quickly. We'll see. Autophagia, compulsion to bite or partially devour own body. Come on, everyone bites their fingernails and stuff like that. Are you telling me that I'm turning into a zombie? Brains. I don't know, I was going for a joke there. We probably want to go ahead and pick up something like some insects. Or maybe bat. Bat is really good. Hard to detect, increases infectivity and mutation chance. Pretty solid amount of infectivity. I'll go ahead and pick that up for now. I was thinking insects just to make it a little bit easier to spread and stuff out of Saudi Arabia into the neighboring countries. I mean, yeah, you want to rush down the zombies pretty much as quickly as possible normally. Well, I'm just taking a slightly different approach here. We're going to try to spread the disease a little bit so that when I do fire off the zombies, ideally it's going to be on every continent. For some reason, insects are a little bit on the expensive side. 11 DNA, more expensive than everything else. That's kind of crazy. Autophagia just fired off for free. Okay, so that's a bit more infectivity that away. Thank you, finally, for the bubble. Gosh dang. All right, insects, do your job, for God's sake. We're spreading in Saudi Arabia, but not anytime fast. Gosh, all right, we could go for birds as well. The land transmission is certainly going to be nice getting around into the adjacent countries. Nothing here is going to help me when it comes to, like, water transmission and stuff, though. So, I mean, like, meh. Necromancy spreads to Iran. Now, there's a sentence you don't get to say very often, and that actually sounds borderline horrifying, but I mean, okay, yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and pick up the birds, and then we can just focus more on, oh, there we go, focus on some symptoms. Very high levels of bird migration is actually ginormously great for me. Ginormous? I decided to go with it as it was coming out of my mouth, even though I know that is not a word. Psychosis. Psychotic episodes lead to bursts of extreme violence, slows down the research speed, a little bit of lethality and stuff like that. I mean, like, that's not a huge deal. More infectious than tuberculosis, saying it. So, all right, so we got our psychosis for free. Then we have cannibalism. That's also a little bit lethal, more infective, and so on. Oh no, they discovered me. As people go insane and start eating themselves, apparently only people are just now realizing that necromancy is once again alive and well. You know, it'd be kind of cool if this treated a little bit more like the Shadow Plague, and there was going to be some like Templars or Paladins or something rising up to kill the Lich. You know, a secret order or something. That would be neat. Whatever. Anyway, we go for coma. I mean, yeah, reduces infection rates and stuff. Probably not what I want this exact second. Could be useful later, I suppose. I'll go ahead and pick up the necrosis, I think. No, let's go ahead and pick up actually some drug resistance. Spread a little bit faster in Europe. Also some cold resistance and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit more. I'm just trying to spread it a little bit further. I want to make sure I'm on every single continent because then the zombies are going to be really, really easy to start moving around. I'm not going to be too worried about them at all. So, coma, huh? When does this lead to the zombies? That's my question. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up necrosis because as people die, it still spreads. I mean, that's certainly not a bad thing for me. We're kind of everywhere that I care about, so I think we are just gonna focus on symptoms here. Let's go ahead and grab that coma and the cytopathic reanimation. The necromancer's magic completely ensnares the souls of the infected, killing them and bounding their bodies into the necromancer's will, turns the dead into zombos. There we go. Esoteric knowledge. More research required to finish the cure. That'll be useful. Oh, now we are actually getting some stuff that's kind of themed around some of the Shadow Plague. I like it. Magical tuning. The necromancer learns how to more accurately focus magic. Infected, more likely to become zombies. I mean, that seems pretty useful to me. Revived shadows. The dead can be rassied even from the most ancient graves. Increasing infectivity gives the zombies a combat bonus that is very, very important. I assume ZCOM is going to be a thing. I mean, I guess we are kind of getting our paladin order regardless, aren't we? Yeah, kind of. Ancient revival, a more powerful reanimation spell is learned. Significantly heightens the zombie's power. Let's go with the magical tuning because right now I think just straight out numbers is probably going to be a good thing for me. I want to have zombies just popping up all over the place, eating all of their former neighbors. Seems great to me. We're getting a lot of DNA all of a sudden. Temporal lobe manipulation. They are attracted to movement. Yeah, we've seen that sort of thing before. We do have all of our abilities. The Horde Instinct is kind of what I need. We'll go for the structured travel and stuff. Improved movement speed there. Horde mentality, thousands of zombies, vocalization. A lot of that's great. Navigation, overall stuff, blah, blah, blah. Ocean speed, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just start doing a few basic movements once we start getting some zombies around. So let's say I want to go from South Africa into Madagascar. Let's say I want to go from China into Japan, blah, blah, blah. Mexico into the Caribbean. Just make sure I'm getting into a few of these islands without committing millions of zombies on that route, because that would be a little bit excessive in mine opinion. Let's get into Russia with a few zombies. Start biting a bit more. We got some biters, man. We got some biters. I want to get down into these other islands as well, so let's go ahead and do that. I know they're slow on the ocean, but, like, it's not a big deal, is it? Probably not. So, do we want to go ahead and pick up the Revived Shadows? It's a pretty good amount of infectivity. I'll do it. The Way of War. All of the Necromancer's thralls are equipped with ancient weapons, such as bows and swords. I messed that up. That's fine. Zombies get a massive combat bonus. Oh, good. So we literally are turning into, like, the Lich King at this point. Okay. God, that makes me want to go play Wrath of the Lich King. I know that Warcraft's like WoW Anniversary is just now loading up the Burning Crusade. I'll tell you, it is exceptionally tempting to me to start playing WoW again, just the old version for the sake of nostalgia, if absolutely nothing else. But I also know that I will lose my entire life and soul if I do things like that, because unfortunately, back when I was playing things like World of Warcraft, I was putting in 40 to 50 hours a week while a college student. I have no sense of balance in that game, none whatsoever. Oh, Greenland is the host of all the ZCOM. That's terrible. Okay, well, I mean, we're gonna have to live with it somehow, I suppose. Let's go for the Ancient Revival. Let's get the Way of War. Armor. Zombie skin becomes hardened like diamonds, giving them a combat edge. Okay. So they're just like, what's her name? Emma Frost from the X-Men? Well, that's a freaking OP power if ever I did see one. Very overpowered. We're going to need things to the Horde vocalization to get a lot of zombies over into Greenland at some point. New base is starting up in Scandinavia. We'll try going up into Sweden, just make sure that we have some zombies in all of these countries. I'm going to go ahead and grab the drifting fermentation just so we can move faster in the oceans going forward. Growing stronger in Greenland, Finland is going to be the new host for ZCOM. Unfortunately, we didn't spread fast enough in Russia, so I don't have millions of zombies at my disposal there. That's unfortunate. Adrenal Surge could be good for more severity and stuff. Yeah, I'm aware. Prey more likely to remain intact to become a zombie seems good. So as our zombies start killing, it's a higher chance of actually just infecting people. Vampiric Hunger. The zombie prefers to suck the blood from its prey rather than eat the flesh. Prey more likely to remain intact and again become a zombie. More zombies just means more opportunities to eat things, I think, probably. The cure is already 50% of the way complete. That is Highly unfortunate. Let's go ahead and really ramp up the number of zombies. I'm going to move faster into places like Europe and into Russia and stuff. I just want to have lots and lots of zombies ready to go. Let's move over some to Southeast Asia. Why are we not killing faster is my question. I feel like we should be going a little bit faster than this, all right? Zombies destroyed Saudi Arabia. Oh, no. The Festival of Love didn't work out so well. Who would have guessed that was going to happen? I don't really think I need any more transmissions at this point. Let's go for the Vampiric Hunger. That leads to Necrotic Seduction. The Necromancer's magic becomes so powerful that even the smallest amount of mana transforms the living into zombies. So they're very, very likely to do that. Great and all, but I think the combat advantage at this point is more important. Like, we're going to get zombies in very, very large numbers. Billions, in fact. But I'm kind of struggling to do, like, you know, win fights against, like, ZCOM. Though, weirdly enough, we're doing okay in Greenland, which doesn't make a lot of sense. We're even growing in Finland. Wait a minute, I may not even have to send millions strong into these countries in order to destroy them. I will anyway, but I might not even have to do that. Apparently our guys are really, really strong. Anabolic boost, sure. Severity increased, armor wouldn't be a bad thing for me to pick up. We're gonna get a lot of DNA as we finish off all these remaining countries. Do we have any non-infected countries? No, everyone is fully infected, so we should... Well, not fully infected, but everyone is infected, so it shouldn't be an issue. ZCOM's about to get destroyed, dude. Wow, okay, that was unexpected. Let's just go ahead and help the movement of zombies along to finish infecting a few places that have otherwise been holding out on me, mainly parts of Central Europe. I'll go ahead and grab things like the armor over there. That'll be helpful. And then what countries are still alive? New Zealand is alive? No, Australia has something to say about that. They've hated the Kiwis for as long as they've existed. So let's go ahead and destroy that one. Drug resistance abilities can slow down the cure. Do you think I don't know that game? Do you think that I, of all people, do not know that? Of course I know that. Of course I do. So New Zealand is about to get destroyed. Norway has fallen. Peptide Surge comes out for free. We do have Mysticatory Tension. That's pretty normal. And then we have Modern Warfare. The Necromancer vastly increases the zombies' intelligence and weapon skills. Zombies are now capable of using modern weapons. Massive combat boost. It would have been more fun if they just started creating like the abominations from WoW. I always thought those guys were fun, all right? Patchwork want to play. Anyone who's played that game in the old days, the good old days of Naxxramas, will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is not a WoW-themed scenario. I'm just slightly obsessed with that. Anyway, 488 days, 76% pure progress. Not the fastest thing I could have done, honestly, but like, not bad. 44,165 points, 2 stars on Mega Brutal. Yeah, this scenario is pretty fun. I actually think the theme is pretty strong throughout. It kind of follows the normal tropes a bit of the necroa virus, and the same strategies apply. If you just go for the zombies kind of quickly, you're probably going to be better off than if you focused on normal transmission. But we got through it without too much of an issue, and ZCOM didn't stand a lick of a chance. Magic, man. There need to be more magic-based scenarios. I think it's pretty clever for an idea. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.